I hear you're a horror fan.
Shit.
I'm the first to admit it. If this were a scary movie, I'd be the prime suspect.
Ring, ring. Hello.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I like that movie. It was scary.
Wow, well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Devil shits.
Would you call me?
Not your friend. Who played the dumb bitch at the beginning of Stab 1 who answers the phone and gets carved up by the killer?
I don't even have a boyfriend right now. I lied. I do have a boyfriend.
Maybe it's just a movie. With the murders and all, it's like right out of a horror movie or something.
I think slashers just never go away. I think they're just always going to be popular.
I think it's something primal. Everyone I know has had the dream of, I'm being chased and I can't run quite fast enough to get away. So it just sort of gets down deep to, what if someone really was trying to kill me and I can't talk my way out of it, I can't bargain my way out of it. There's nothing I can do but rely upon my wits to hopefully physically survive. Sitting in these movies, it kind of exercises that fear a little bit for you.
In terms of like, this is a fight for my life. And I think that's something that you can, as an audience member, experience vicariously, and it makes you feel like you've survived something when you leave the theater.
I think getting that rush of fear must release some sort of dopamine or something, because people are addicted to it. Just like going on a roller coaster, or people want to jump out of airplanes. I think it just is a heightened emotion that gives you a thrill.
You sell this costume every 5 and dime in the state.
Yes, of course, I was a big fan of Scream. The one that's just called Scream, the first one that's just called Scream, changed our culture. And I knew it when I was sitting in the movie theater watching it. And then it just blew up in a way because we were watching one of the first comedies that really was what we now call meta, where they're talking about the making of it while they're making it. It was really groundbreaking.
That is so sexist. The killer could easily be female. Basic instinct.
That was an ice pick. Not exactly the same thing.
The thing that's so great about the Scream franchise is it's so meta and self-referential.
This is standard horror movie stuff.
You know, a lot of times the things that you might put on camera that would feel very kind of on the nose, they were totally game for and into. So including a lot of little nods to the original and just previous films in general.
You have a movie that can talk about the movie in real time. And we've had a lot of fun with that on this one.
So much of what we loved about the original 4 is that, you know, we talk a lot about how those movies were sort of gateways into the genre for us. And it wasn't just about falling in love with one movie, with the original Scream. It was also falling in love with all of the movies that movie was referencing. And it became sort of an encyclopedia in so many ways, and an entry point for us into the genre, and anybody who watches it into the genre. So I think there's something really, there's an opportunity in that for us now, you know, on Scream 5, Scream 6, to continue to do that, to, you know, not only make a movie for fans of the franchise, but make a movie for newcomers and create the same sort of window into the horror universe that we had watching the original with these new films.
This is Tori Spelling, starring in the new film, Stab.
My mom's dead and she's never coming back.
Your mom left town. She's not lying in a coffin somewhere.
Okay, I'm sorry. At least you get David Schwimmer.
I'm starting to see why Tori Spelling and David Schwimmer didn't want to come back. I want to be in the sequel.
Are you suggesting that someone's trying to make a real-life sequel?
Let's face it, baby. These days, you gotta have a sequel.
We're gonna do that. Sequels suck.
Not only are the meta aspects of it prevalent in this one, I think there's a little bit something for everybody in a Scream movie. I think if you're a traditional slasher fan, you get the slashing and the gore. But then the hidden gem of all Scream movies is the whodunit element. And I think right now in popular culture and in what people are watching, are they're loving the mystery element and discovering who did it and pulling apart the layers of the onion that way.
God damn it. I got it wrong again.
And then on top of that, you have a little bit of levity involved inside of the terror and the emotion and everything else that's going on.
Fuck this franchise.
It became a very playful thing to do, just to find Easter eggs and like the colors of the cups, you know, in the frat house being the same as the ones Stu and Billy were using in the first Scream, and, you know, just like trying to bring a bunch of little mini things to connect all of the projects, all of the films together in our world. So it was kind of fun. At the beginning, our decorator, Suzanne, didn't know anything about the franchise either, our props person either, you know, and they were all like, what is this, you know? And they all became experts of looking for little things. And then from the films, but also from like other horror films, to try to bring stuff in there that, you know, creates some seeds for a couple of fans to pick up on. I mean, if like 2 people see, we won, you know?
I thought in the movies...
Forget about the movies don't matter. It makes it more interactive. You can't just sit back and like complacently watch the film. Like, you have to be very aware of like all these details of what's going on. It's just like throwing more curveballs, you know, at you, but it also makes it more of an interactive experience. It makes, as a fan, it's just more fulfilling.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Someone's out to make a sequel. The body count is always bigger.
Trilogy rules. You got a killer who's gonna be superhuman.
Oh my God, he's making a requel.
Death scenes are always much more elaborate.
Not quite a reboot, not quite a sequel.
Anyone, including the main character, can die.
New main characters, supported by and related to legacy characters.
If you want your sequel to become a franchise, never, ever,
under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. I'll be right back!
It's fun because the things we're commenting on, we're not criticizing. We're not taking pot shots and going, the tropes are lame. We're just saying that they exist. Yeah. And so crafting these Mindy speeches is always just a blast.
Someone is out to make a sequel to the requel.
And Jasmine killed it. There was like a 4-page monologue that this queen did, and we were all just like chilling, having a great, nice day, and she was like, you know, doing all the work for us. So it was great.
In the last film, I didn't really work with Mason or Jasmine. I just hung out with them. So it's nice to have established that work relationship with them now, or see that side of them. So cool. And Jasmine is one of the funniest people I know. The love I have for that woman is unbelievable, and she knows it.
We're in a franchise, and there are certain rules to a continuing franchise.
The writing is so good. Those monologues, the last one too, I memorized so fast in like a day or 2. That's been really fun. It's been very educational for me. Honestly, I didn't know the rules of horror movies until diving into Mindy, and it's given me more respect for the horror genre in general. But I love doing those scenes because it feels like a day of theater, and I'm a theater kid at heart. I love a big, juicy monologue, and in this movie and the last one, everyone's just gathered around as I'm performing at them all day, and that's fun.
It's also meta because she's Randy's niece. And Randy is obviously the one who originally gives the rules of how to survive a horror movie, and then she gives this movie's, you know, lesson on how to survive the movie. It's also just a fun scene to watch because I have like no lines, and you just sit back and watch Jasmine just like say 3 pages worth of dialogue. And that's a monologue I could listen to all day because it's just about horror movies, and I love horror movies, so.
Franchises are just continuing episodic installments designed to boost an IP.
It's absolutely bonkers. It's a movie that's a fiction about making fiction, and it's been spitting up its own innards for 25 years. It's fascinating. And of course, someone's gonna pull up a scene that I'm in with Courtney Cox on Friends in 2001.
I think Courtney in the second movie did some reference to Friends.
Ever since those nude pictures on the internet.
It was just my head. It was Jennifer Aniston's body. You know, like that stuff, I think is always great and appreciated, and our audience loves that.
With Scream, especially the first one, literally that script from Kevin and the direction of Wes and all the meta things, the movie basically says, I'm going to do a magic trick in front of you, and I'm going to tell you all the rules. I'm not going to pretend those rules don't exist. I'm going to tell you literally all of the rules, and yet I'm still going to fool you. And you're going to be laughing during it. But the things you're laughing at that I'm telling you about, I will also then use to scare you later. Like, even though I'm admitting to you that I'm fooling you and doing a magic trick. And so keeping all of those plates spinning is, I think, the biggest challenge, but it's also the thing we love.
We are still pinching ourselves. We can't believe that we are allowed to do this. It's just a blast. I never in a million years when I saw Scream on opening night in '96 that I would be co-writing not 1 but 2 Scream movies. It's a thrill and it's a privilege, and you know, again, as a fan, it's just a dream.
This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Ice. Thanks.